Hey, what's going on out there? Hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you guys get a chance to check this video out. Let me know what you guys think, all right? So I'm hearing, actually, just recently I posted a couple videos and I talked about how there were some cards that were available on Target's website. And I was like, hey, yo, go check these cards out. It was Chronicles, Illusions, and Flux. I got a couple comments by a couple of guys and they were saying, hey, I wonder if this is going to be a sign of things to come. Like, why are these cards still available? I know Target dropped, I believe, a couple days ago, and those cards are still available when I checked earlier today. Chronicles, Illusions, and Flux. Now, I don't personally really discriminate to cards. I know some people are like, oh, well, those are low end. Those are trash. Those are low end. And I'm just like, well, you know what? If you like cards, then you buy cards. It doesn't always have to be about the value or necessarily the money aspect of it. But what I'm hearing is that there's people who are exiting the hobby. Now, why do we think that is? I think there could be multiple reasons, and obviously I may not cover everything, but I think one of the reasons is I think people jumped into it, in the last year, probably because they were trying to figure out how to make a quick buck or two. You know what I'm saying? Because if you see that Zion Williamson's rookie, at a National Treasures is worth like $50,000, you might think, oh man, these cards are worth all this money. Let me go get some cards from Target or whatever, and you can't even, Target retail versus like a National Treasures, they don't even add up. They don't even compete. But what I'm saying is, I think people may have started seeing things on YouTube, maybe other social media, and because of the boom of the industry, people thought, hey, maybe there's a way that I can make a quick amount of money in cards. But I know other people have also been into it for a longer run and have considered it a way of investing. Now, let me just tell you something. When I first hopped back into collecting, and I would say it was in 2020, and I started seeing the prices of some of these items, whether it was a box or a pack, at a local card shop, I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I just started thinking back to when I was a kid, and you could buy like a hobby box of, Upper Deck for like, I don't know, $130, $160. I was mind blown with the prices of retail and hobby, and maybe that's a reason. And also, even retail prices have increased. I know for a long time, I think it was about 10 years, a blaster box would go for about $20, but now they're easily 25 or maybe even 30, depending on the type of retail product it is. So that could be another reason why people are getting out of the hobby. But I think true collectors who are really into it for the collecting aspect of it, I think they're still going to stay in it. That's what I think. That's what I'm going to do. And I collect, like I said, I don't discriminate. I'm a big basketball fan. And I don't care if it's a base card. I don't care if it's a parallel that everyone has. I'm down with it. You know what I'm saying? And if you're thinking about exiting the hobby, send all your cards to me. You know what I'm saying? Send me the Kobe's. Send me all of them. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I'll take them off your hands. No worry. So the other thing that I think has impacted people or made people want to decide or think differently about sports cards is because I think when Target really took cards out of their store and made them primarily available online, I think that kind of discouraged people, because I think it was easier for people to get cards in store. And some people might say, hey, it's easier to get cards online, and you just never, I don't know, I think that's part of the reason why some people have decided to leave. One other thing that I wanted to talk about, and I've thought about this many times, is I'm not sure if this is really related, but I think it has to do with the hype of the hobby. Why are, the thing that I always have struggled with, like I said, I mentioned a Zion Williamson card, right? He was a rookie. He had a National Treasures. I know National Treasures is obviously considered a high-end product, but why is his card going for $50,000? What is that card worth now? I don't know. I don't think it's the same. I think the hype has kind of died down and obviously things have dropped. So, but what I'm trying to get at here is, how is a brand new rookie, even a LaMelo, I saw in a one of the popular breakers, Mr. Good Old Hitman, he pulled a LaMelo, and that card, I believe it was like comping at somewhere around 50,000 as well. It was an autograph card of LaMelo. LaMelo's cool, LaMelo's great, Zion's cool, he's great and all, but it's like, what have they really done in the NBA to make their card value that high, versus someone like Kobe Bryant, I just feel like it's hard to wrap my head around that. Like, I can't really grasp that. I always want to go to like, well, how many championships have they got? How many times they've been to the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? Have they won an MVP? Have they been an all-star? These are all the things that kind of go through my head. So let me know what you guys think. Are people really, really exiting the hobby? And if so, why do you think that is? There's actually this guy, really, really cool guy. He's on Instagram. His handle is called Ultimate Pastime. And he has a quote. There's something that he says. He always says, buy what you like. That way, it's not necessarily about the money. It's not necessarily about the value. It's not necessarily about, how much profit can I make off this card? Is this going to be a quick flip or a long hold? For me personally, I don't necessarily want to discriminate towards flippers, towards even investors. If you want to flip something and make some profit, go ahead. Go ahead, do that. If you want to invest or hold cards for a long time, go ahead and do that. If you want to collect, certain sets or parallels or build certain, I saw this other guy, he was a big Kobe collector. He actually put together Kobe autograph cards with patches, right? And he actually spelled out, I think it was Lakers in the cards. And I was like, dang, brother, can I get like one of those Kobe autos? What do you guys think about the hobby? What do you guys think the hobby is going to be like in the new year? And how are prices and values impacting the hobby? Obviously, it's not going to be as hyped up as what it was in, early this year or maybe even late 2020. It's not going to be the same. But for me, I'm going to stay in the hobby. I like the hobby. I like collecting cards. I like collecting cards when I was a kid. And when I first got back into it, I went to a local card shop, and one of the owners of this card shop's like, because I was mind blown with the prices, right? And he's like, well, they got all these shoe guys jumping into cards. And I'm like, shoe guys? What are you talking about? He's like, these sneakerheads. And I'm like, oh, really? And I was like, okay, I didn't really know about that. And then he said, yeah, even gamblers are jumping back into the hobby, And I'm like, really? And, I know that sports were crazy back in 2020 when COVID hit. Everything was kind of put on pause. So maybe that's true. Maybe a lot of those guys jumped in, into sports cards because that was their only avenue to really spend time or spend their money. I don't know. The other thing too, before I go, I wonder if people are just kind of getting tired of the way sports is these days. Now, what I mean by that is every other day, I'm telling you, I hear, this team has 10 players out due to COVID protocols. We better call the G League. Man, when I saw Isaiah Thomas got a 10-day contract for the Lakers, I was like, what? And I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. You know what I'm saying? But once again, let me know what you guys think. I hope I didn't ramble too much. And if you're new to my channel, please hit the like button. Please drop a comment. Let me know what you think. And if you're new, make sure you hit subscribe. CDub's out.